The future of the 21st century economy is going to be largely written in Indo-Pacific, in our region.
Claiming power over the Indo-Pacific seems right up top on America's agenda. The first line of America's Indo-Pacific strategy said it in as many words. The US is an Indo-Pacific power. But just how is the US gaining power in the region?
Over the past decade, our 5 regional treaty allies have increased their military expenditures by double digits. That is what delivering on our shared vision looks like.
No points for guessing whose pockets get filled when US allies increase their defense expenditure. So is the Indo-Pacific America's newest market to push its weapons? Is this simply a pawn to gain footprint and power in the region while building its economy? What is US game plan in the region? I'm Shivan Chanana. Let me explain this to you. America's strategy is clear, that their interests can only be advanced if they firmly anchor themselves in the Indo-Pacific. And this is how US is doing just that.
Today, we're announcing the steps to carry out our first project under AUKUS, developing Australia's conventionally armed nuclear-powered submarine capacity.
US will equip Australia with nuclear-powered attack submarines as fast as possible. Australia will buy 3 to 5 of its Virginia-class US submarines. There will be increased presence of US bombers and fighters at Australian bases as well.
We're pleased to announce today that President Marcos has approved 4 new EDCA locations. And that brings the total number of EDCA sites to 9.
The US granted $100 million to Philippines in military financing in October of 2022. But in return, US gained access to 9 military bases where US troops will be positioned. This will be America's most expansive presence in Philippines in the last 30 years.
Deployment of the United States strategic assets to the Korean Peninsula will be made constantly and routinely.
In a landmark deal, US will deploy nuclear-armed submarines to South Korea as well. In the financial year 2019 to 2021, the US authorized defense exports of over $3.4 billion to South Korea and has over $30 billion in active sales with the nation. Over 28,500 US military personnel are stationed in South Korea.
We have supported Japan's decision to increase substantially its defense budget over the next 5 years.
Soon after Japan increased its defense budget, US approved military sale to Japan for E-2D Advanced Hawkeye aircraft worth $1.4 billion. US will also be deploying its Marine Corps and cutting-edge anti-ship capabilities and combat deterrence in the nation.
We continue to fulfill our commitments under the Taiwan Relations Act.
In September, the US approved the Taiwan Policy Act, in which military aid worth $4.5 billion would be provided to Taipei over 4 years. US has been reportedly working to fast-track a weapons package deal with Taiwan worth over $500 million. Washington will also begin sending the 66 new F-16V fighter jets later this year. US is expanding its footprint in small Pacific Island nations too. Washington has struck a deal with Papua New Guinea, giving it access to US satellite surveillance. But in return, American troops will have access to Papua New Guinea's ports, airports, and its waters. Now, it is no secret that US has been trying very hard to get India to its side. Washington wants a piece of India's defense business, which is currently going to Russia. But India is not one to do so. India will watch its own interests every step of the way, as it did when put under pressure over the Ukraine war. After its unfinished wars and conflicts in Latin America, the Middle East, and Afghanistan, the US is now going back to Asia. Clearly, it has not learned any lessons from the Vietnam War debacle. Given how they fared in similar previous endeavors, which have either resulted in failure, ended inconclusively, or in a hasty exit, how do you think US military endeavor in the Indo-Pacific will end? Let me know in the comments.